Today is a beautiful Saturday. This is Chuck Can from Oxford TV. I'm here with Bob Tenbosch.
Yes.
Bob, what's going on here, my friend?
Well, we're having our annual Veterans Picnic.
Yep.
This is our 15th year. This is our first year that we're having a picnic inside. Mother Nature wasn't cooperative with us this morning, but I'm just totally blown away with the people that show up. We have over 300 people show up. So
that's quite a crowd in there.
I am very, very thankful for that. Yep.
So how did you get involved in all of what's going on here, Bob?
So the ministry started about 15 years ago, where a fellow Vietnam vet and myself decided that we should do something to honor our vets.
Sure.
And that's how it really started. We figured, well, let's do something nice, something that they all would like to go to, and it's a family deal. So we decided to start off with a picnic.
I see. So it turns out vets do eat, huh?
Vets love to eat, and if they can bring their family along, that makes it even better.
Sure.
Yeah, so this is a family event.
When I look around that room, there's an awful lot of people smiling in there.
Thank you. I appreciate that. One thing that we also decided to do was bus in or transport about 115 veterans that live in homeless shelters throughout the Tri-County area.
Outstanding.
So, yeah, and they love it.
Guys who might not get out to the suburbs occasionally get on the bus and came, huh?
That's exactly right. And they've been coming every year. They love it. So we're just totally excited about it.
So you've been at this 15 years. Yes, how has it changed from the beginning to today?
In the beginning, we had about 50 vets and 75 volunteers.
Really?
Now we have probably about 100 volunteers and 300 vets and families. So it's grown exponentially.
Lots of folks. Has it always been at this church?
Yes. We've always had it on the grounds of our church. We're on about 30 acres of lakefront property, and that's what makes it really nice. We've got an outdoor stage, a pavilion, and of course the grounds.
Now, why is this church thinking that vets are an important part of something to reach out to? What's behind that?
Well, that's a good question. We approached our senior pastor, who, by the way, was singing Johnny B. Good.
Right.
And I said we'd like to start a veterans ministry, and asked basically for his permission. He said, "You don't need my permission, just go ahead and do it."
Make it happen.
So I put together a business plan, a model for how we could run a ministry, and it's turned out to be very, very successful.
So in addition to a yearly picnic where a bunch of guys get together and kind of hang out and tell lies and war stories.
See stories.
See, right, exactly. What else happens with this ministry?
Thank you for asking that. In the spring, early spring, usually February, March, we host a fundraiser at Collier Lanes.
Good, yeah.
And that helps support what we're doing right now.
Right in beautiful Oxford here.
Yes, it is. And we're very, very thankful for the Oxford community supporting us. We're a self-sufficient ministry, so we don't rely upon any money from the church. And in November, we do an annual Veterans Dinner. This year it'll be November 10th, right here in LakePoint Church. And we're looking for corporate sponsors or folks that want to sponsor a vet. By all means, have them contact me at bob@tenbosch.com.
So could you spell bob@tenbosch.com?
B-O-B at T-E-N, like number 10, B as in boy, O-S-C-H.com.
Excellent. All right. Excellent. So these guys, when they head home,
yes,
are they? Is there any more activities, or is this it for the year for them? From the church ministry.
From the church ministry, that's it until November.
Now I saw over in the corner there a group of folks looking like they're praying for some people. Is that one of the things that's possible here?
Yes, that's one of our ministries called Sidewalk Servants.
Excellent.
And they're here every year to offer prayer to anyone that need in prayer.
It's funny how many of us need prayer.
They told me that they never had as many people come to their tent ever. So this has been just a blessing.
Something special. Well,
yes.
we sure appreciate you letting us come in. I'm not a vet, but my little brother was. And so
God bless.
I'm standing in his spot.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Bob, very much.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
I'm sitting here with Jim Greco. And Jim, what is your part in all this craziness, sir?
Well, I was elected to be the sales and marketing director for the veteran ministry of LakePoint Community Church, and I'm a professional beggar. I get people to donate, businesses, private citizens, to help our vets. That's how we were able to pull this off. We have a Bolorama in February. This is where we raise money. We do lots of events where we're raising money. It's strictly for vets. It's anything we can do to help vets out. We're trying to expand what we're doing for vets, but you got to have a plan. Working on the plan.
So if somebody were to have some money that they wanted to give for vets because it just seems like a good cause, how would they go about doing that?
Contact LakePoint Community Church Veteran Ministry, Bob Tenbosch. If I had his number in my head, I'd give it to you. Or if you can reach out to anybody at our church, they'll steer you in the right directions to the vet ministry. Well, my phone number, 586-246-5070. You can call me with any questions. My dad was a drill sergeant in the Marine Corps, so I had 21 years of boot camp. But he's not with us, and I love helping vets.
So I see a lot of guys here. Do they normally come to this church, or is this all just a one-off for them?
Oh no, most of these people here come from some shelters in Detroit. I just drove a van down. We picked up about maybe 50 people from a couple different shelters. We had another shelter, I think, came from Grand Rapids. So, and this day is for all vets, anywhere, anytime. I mean, it doesn't matter. We put this out there with flyers, put them in stores, everything. And we're also going to do a vet dinner, November 10th. It's free, but you got to call and make a reservation for a vet and a guest.
Got it. All right. I see a lot of happy-looking faces here. Would you agree?
Absolutely. It's to me as a civilian, it's just a small way of saying thank you to all the vets.
Sure.
Because if it wasn't for them, we're not doing this. We can always do more.
What would you do if you got a whole bunch more cash?
That's a great question.
Thank you.
Help more vets. Now, I will say we just met with, her name is Rose, with Tiny Homes. Hey, Rose. We're on TV.
Hi, Rose. I'm Chuck Cameron.
Nice to meet
Oxford
you.
TV.
Hi.
And this young fella mentions that you had something to do with tiny homes. Is that true?
Yes, it is. We're going to be building them downriver.
Excellent. And would vets be involved in this project?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Vets are helping build it, and they're homes for vets.
That's pretty slick.
Oh,
You got a circle here.
okay. You got to give her some time. Tell them your story. I know.
I was born in England, came across on the Queen Elizabeth II, lived in Montreal, Quebec, was raised in Silicon Valley, left home at the age of 16, joined the military at 17. I wanted to go to Vietnam. They said, be a nurse. I said, they're going to die. I'm not a nurse. So I went in anyway, and I cut the orders to bring the guys home from Vietnam. Then I applied for a civil service job, and I got it. I was hired and fired in 5 minutes because I was not a U.S. citizen. So I said, I am a U.S. citizen. I swore off England when I joined the military, and they said, your recruiter lied to you. So I was devastated.
That's the first evidence we've ever heard of a recruiter telling a fib.
Yeah, I think I found out then that they always fibbed. Yeah, so then, long story short, I had a barista in Canada hook me up with a Navy chief. 58 years later, I'm finally a U.S. citizen, and this is my country now. Mine.
Well, we're mighty glad to have you, young lady.
Well, thank you so very much.
Tell them more about what you're doing. No, go ahead.
I don't even know what to say. We got our land. We're going to build our tiny homes. Next week, we're supposed to get all the details. We have a construction company on board. Lowe's is going to furnish with the flooring, all of that stuff. And then we have got a group, now even a bigger group of people that want to come in and swing a hammer or plant a flower donate a mower, whatever.
It's funny if you give people a really good cause and get out of their way, what they'll step up and do, isn't
There's
it?
not a better cause.
And you know what? I had talked about this for years. And people would go, yeah. Well, we got the land. So now it's not yeah. Now it's like, now will you listen to me? I am tired of our veterans not being treated like they are the kings and queens of this country. And before I die, I'm going to make sure I put a few houses up so they are not homeless.
Couldn't want for a better thing.
Won't find more passion either.
Yes, sir. So that's part of the answer to what would you do if you had a bunch more money?
We'd give it to her.
Yep, give it
No,
to her.
we do it together.
Well, that's yes.
We do it together.
Yep.
No, we thank you. Thank you so much for stepping in. Thank you so much for stepping up.
Thanks, brother.
Chuck Cameron, OCTV. More to come. So Gary and Paul, it sounds like it's a beginning of a rock star, or at least a folk group. Gary and Paul. So what are you up to today here?
I am here representing Guitars for Vets, which is a national charity benefiting veterans, most of whom are referred to us by the VA. Many of them have PTSD and other issues. They're referred to us for 10 weeks of guitar lessons. And our program offers 10 person-to-person lessons, 1-hour lessons. At the end of those 10 weeks, at graduation, and graduation, the standard for graduation basically is you have to play at least one recognizable tune.
One song.
Well, it's not easy for some people who are older. At the end of 10 weeks, our students are presented with a new guitar, a dreadnought guitar, an acoustic guitar, a case for it, and all the accessories.
And these would have to be vets?
They have to be vets, yes. Yes.
So how'd you get involved in doing such a crazy thing?
Well, it's kind of an interesting story. I was listening to NPR. I build guitars, and I was in my workshop one day listening to NPR, and they had the guy on who started Guitars for Vets in 2007. And I thought, what a great program that is. The next day, my buddy from Georgia, who knows how to play guitar, plays in a bluegrass band, called me and he said, Gary, can you help me out? Well, depends. He said, well, I've never taught anything in my life. You, for a while, were a teacher. You know how to do those things. And I said, okay, what do you need? He said, well, I joined the Guitars for Vets, and I got to teach, and you got to help me do it.
Let's see, Guitars for Vets, 2 days in a row. There's something there.
Exactly. It's a message from some force of nature anyway. And so I thought, well, I'm going to check into it. And I called the chapter coordinator in southeastern Michigan. It was a fairly new chapter at the time. So there was no competition for the spot, so they took me.
Well, congratulations on making it to the top of the list.
Pardon me?
Congratulations on making it to the top of the list.
Top of the list, and it's been a wonderful charity. It's a great charity. And it's what you would expect in a true charity, where virtually nobody gets paid. And, we're not getting government money. We do have relationships with various customers, like Fender Guitars, for example. But nonetheless, it's been a great story, and I'll keep doing it as long as I can.
So how do you know Paul?
He was a student of one of our other instructors, and we get together once every few weeks for a jam session to keep him playing, and because it's fun. And he's part of that group. And he also had a piece of junk Gibson guitar that he played for years until it broke, and he gave it to me to fix, and I fixed it, and so we've been together ever since.
So you got to keep your fingers calloused up, right?
Oh, definitely, but mine aren't that calloused.
Once you stop playing, they lose their calluses, don't they?
I played in I played in high school, and then I played in a band in the Marine Corps. Just a squadron band, okay. And then after I came home, I really got busy. I had PTSD, and I gave it up for like 50 years. So I found out the veterans had this program going, So I called, and one of his friends was my instructor. And so I took all the courses, and I picked it up again a little bit. You know, I do a little singing and stuff like that. So
Beats sitting on the chair, doesn't it?
it definitely does. Right. And I mean, and a bunch of great guys that at least teach the program, and then there's a bunch of us that have just learned. You know, because there's all kind of people in the program that just learn and that are really good.
So how do you hear about this event?
Actually, I heard about this event through one of the people in the church here, because her husband and another guy, they played locally, and they're really good. And so I'll do a lot of their.
Interrupt and add their names: Mitch Washer and Robbie Chisholm. They're great musicians. They're great guys. And they have done a lot for Guitars for Vets. A lot of fundraisers, things they've even participated in and so forth. So they deserve to hear their names spoken.
Well, we thank you for stepping up and stepping in and doing good work for people who need help.
My pleasure. No question about it.
And congratulations. Next 50 years, I'll see you again. Huh?
All right. Thank you.
All right. Okay, we've got a couple of gentlemen right here. We're going to talk to them about what's up. First of all, sir, what's your name?
My name is Gerald Shelton.
Daryl Shelton?
Yes.
That's a good name.
Yes.
I like this.
Thank you.
And you, sir, what's your name?
I'm Bob Vernan.
Bob Renan?
Vernan.
Vernan, okay. Joe, Daryl and Bob.
Yes.
So, Daryl, what's up? What are you doing?
Hey, I'm participating today in a celebration of the veterans as this church, LakePoint, has done for the past 15 years. This is like my third time being here since the pandemic. And so each time that I know that it's here, I'm here to participate and enjoy myself, find out new things. Number two thing, I'm a veteran, and it's a special fraternity of individuals. Less than 1% of the United States population are veterans. And we've done something to help make this country work, to help make this country strong. And I'm proud.
That's quite a fraternity. So, Bob, what brings you here today?
I'm a volunteer, and I'm a veteran also, so I'm helping out.
Where did you serve, sir?
I was in the Navy in Vietnam.
And how about you? Where'd you serve?
I served in the Marine Corps. I was Special Forces in the Marine Corps Band.
Well, we certainly appreciate it. We see you here next year?
If they ask us back, I will.
See you here next year?
Definitely.
Well, thanks for coming, guys. Thanks for talking with us for a minute.
Thank you.
My name is Chuck Haskin, and I'm with the VFW Post 334. And this is a little booth here that we have our wares with. We're sharing our buddy poppies, and we got some bracelets and other badges and stuff like that for veterans. But we've been involved with this since the start, which I think this is the 6th year. And part of what our post does here, we provide the honor guard with all the colors, posting the colors during the beginning of the ceremony. And but our VFW post actually meets in this church. So we do a lot of joint activities with the church on doing different things. But our main focus was these buddy poppies that we go out during the month of May. We get most of the money we get, that 100% of it goes back into our community or goes back into veteran programs. So dollar for dollar. We don't spend a penny on a building or a bar or anything like that. It's just, so
You get it and you give it away.
absolutely, for every dollar. So I'm just doing the taxes right now for this past year, and we had $49,000 come in. We had $49,000 go out.
Just the way it ought to be.
That's what it should be. Should be. 100%.
So Jim, you're sitting here quiet. What's up with you, and what are you doing here, sir?
I'm just a very quiet guy.
I sense that about you.
I'm Jim Mouse, and I'm as quiet as a mouse. So I am the post chaplain and the state chaplain. So, and like Chuck said, we meet here in this building with Post 334. And we've been here, I don't know how many years, 6, 7 years. And we come out here and try and help. And, they help us, we help them. And the community has been a great supporter for our post. And the things that we do, we couldn't do without the support of the community.
So, are most of these guys church guys, or most of these guys not, or is there kind of a mix? What's your opinion on that?
Well, most of it is a mix. They bring in a lot of veterans from the home down Detroit, and we're just here to help, do what we can. So it's a great endeavor on their part. We thank them for it.
Seems like that's what we're called to do, isn't it?
That's what we're for.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thanks for your time. Right behind us, there's a couple of buses loaded. Looks like they're taking some guys back home.
It's that time.